Bills are paid, my debts are paid in full. I enjoy and prosper from the unity of till death do we part, partner, and he's a loyal lover friend. One love and wellness, precious mother love. I say, her phone wellness event around the globe, around the world, around the globe, around the world. Each month for all right, you guys. Bells and whistles have been going off, and lots of likes on my social medias makes me money every day in many ways. Build my style. Okay. Fabulous, wonderful, and marvelous day that this is. It is a Thursday, and I am on my way to see a client. This is another. She came all the way from California to do some spiritual sacred sessions, and she has included my sacred energy healing tools, the coppers and the jewels. And wow, I'm on my way to meet her and deliver some things that she had requested. I started them because she requested them. I started them in Atlanta. I was in Atlanta doing a home blessing, a land and home cleansing and clearing, which was beautiful. It was so beautiful. The rain stopped long enough for us to get it in. And then some really sacred things happened while I was in Atlanta. You know, I had said, oh, I would love to see red and blue. I'd love to be able to the pillars. Just so happened to run into one of the pillars while I was out. Blue pillar. I was like, Paul Pablo. And that was something that I was hoping to happen and did happen, and it was beautiful. But, these bells and whistles keep going off, and I just keep hearing them. I keep stopping and listening and stop, look, listen to your heart, hear what it's saying, stop. So every time it tells me to stop and take a look, I say it, my heart, my head, I don't know, I hear something. Okay, place, the town where to meet. Though in my mind, I kept saying this is for my client to see. I had said to her, "Oh, hey, Lena Cruz or Cruz, or I'm sorry, Lena. I'm driving, right? Lena Cruz. Hi there. One love and wellness, and something blue dude. Anna Blue Dude. Okay, one love and wellness. I say thanks for stopping by. I am talking about these bells and whistles. I keep hearing them. I keep listening to them. I keep stopping, and things keep lighting up like the pinball on the pinball machine. Bing, bang, bong, bop. I mean, I'm just hitting these spots like they are. Whew, they're paying me money. The points are adding up. I'm bumping into OMG. Speaking of bumped into a fella I hadn't seen since I was back in divinity school, and went down the list of all the people that that we were in contact with, and a lot of those folks are gone. They have transitioned. They are no longer here. They're not a part of. Let me see, where am I supposed to be turning? Okay, same place. Oh my, that's a lot of miles. Really, that many miles? Okay, well, hey, I'm on my way, and traffic is moving right along. I just came from a mountain scenic stop. I stopped there. I'll see if I can get back to where I was, but I stopped at this scenic spot. As I said, I was going to do a YouTube, and I was like, okay, let me pull off because I can't do this while I'm playing. And this thing says, oh, that's a different place. Okay, the sign. I thought the sign was telling me different from what the GPS is saying. So anyway, so I stopped at the mountain scenic place because I was like, oh, I'm always passing it by and never stopping and saying, oh, next time, next time, next time. So I made it this time and I made it purposeful. Say, okay, I'll go ahead and do a YouTube. Well, while I'm there, my client texts me. There, the text requires more than what I would have been able to do had I been driving. For some reason, I can't get the talk to text to work on my keyboard, blah, blah, blah. I was always complaining about it anyway. So, best that I just pull over and respond, which I didn't know that I was about to get the text, but I got the text while I was there. Perfect timing, right? So, but as I was passing one of the exits prior to, bells and whistles, right? I'm saying bells and whistles in the form of signs, symptoms, signals, you know, that rings a bell, you know. So bells and whistles have just been going off and sounding the alarm all through the last couple of days. And I'm saying I'm just taking notice of how often these bells and whistles go. But I believe it has something to do with a sign of the times because I'm tuning into such a big picture of things. I'm able to make connections and relations to a lot more things. Like I'm paying attention to the bigger picture, the grander scheme, and that definitely makes me feel like, oh, here we go. There we go. Another one of those things I'm about to share with sister Queen Goddess. Any case, so now traffic slowed down a little bit, but the main thing that these bells and whistles are really keeping my senses heightened because I recognize when I fall to sleep or if I, settle down, two things happen. If I settle down in the ways that, to say settling down for, to calm myself down, to be a little more low key. Now, at that point, I have the choice to either just go further into the relaxation or to sit in that place of more calm and catch more waves of energy or signs or symptoms or downloads of things that, because I've calmed all my other exterior activities, kind of in sync with, I did the Golden Silence. Silence is Golden yesterday with Black Magic 363, Radiohead Rich. Yes, he wears one of my crowns. He has a crown that I put some black magic on, the black stones that are on it. And I'm about to see a client that also purchased and has a crown from me. Things, the bells and whistles, they are snip, ding danging, bing banging, ching changing all the way through, all along. So I'm not going to keep this long, but I am going to say that, keep your eyes and ears open. Keep your senses high because things are changing so fast, just the same way that the AI is changing, the Akashic intelligence is changing, or not changing, but allowing us to have greater and greater access to it because we're more tuned into the bigger picture. We are, and I say I see folks more and more taking a notice to, the kinds of things that we're seeing on all these social medias, right? They're getting deeper, they're getting wider, and, we're accepting more and more far-fetchedness, like the ETs and all of those. Am I an ET? Well, we are more uh, widely accepting the the far-fetchedness, of the scenarios, where people were heretofore given rubber rooms and straitjackets for the kinds of things that are being said now, accepted, and what do you call it, believed. Things are more believable now. The more I look at the grand scheme of things, the more that we're allowing our brains to wrap around these things, the more there is to wrap the brain around. They say we use a small percentage of it. My brain is tingling right now. It could be that tea tree oil that I washed my hair with. I just washed my hair. I don't know if you could. It's mostly dry, but I feel some tingles, and I don't think it is the tea tree oil. I just give, excuses that are acceptable sometimes, so I'm not going to be doing that as much as I had been, because things are so much more widely accepted for the real stuff, the real stuff that is actually happening. The fact that I had already considered that I would be going all the way to where the client is. She came all the way from the West Coast to this coast to take care of some sacred energy work that I felt that I wanted to be a part of. And here she comes telling me, come on up and da 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 da, other beautiful stuff that, I get to enjoy some of that sacred activity with her in the way that it wasn't as I hadn't thought of it as deeply. Okay, speaking of bells and whistles, I don't know if you can see me. I don't see a picture. It says I am live. One Love and Wellness, love plus art equals wellness, heart happy hour 7, season 7. I made a mistake on one of the other recent broadcasts and said season 6. At the end, I did say season 7, but it's season 7, guys. I've been hanging in there. I've been growing. I've been stretching. I've been rolling right along, making the connections, connecting the dots, making my information, my learning curve shareable blurbs. And I think I'll keep this again short. So, One Love and Wellness, love plus art equals wellness. I have high hopes that I see someone else has joined us. Nipa Rana said hi. One love, Nipa. Ashe family. Thank you for joining me. Like, subscribe, share. I hope that you're listening to those bells and whistles. I hope that you're connecting the dots. That's what I'm seeing myself doing more of right now. And I'm suggesting do the same for yourself. Start looking, start keeping a tab on, when these things are connecting, when the words sound similar, or the names are similar, or the towns are similar, or the places are similar, or the degrees amount, or the address, or the number, or the tag number, or, all these things that begin to tag things in your life that are significant or have some meaning to them. Start building that info file on it. Make sure that you're following up with things. Make sure that you're tapping in, tuning in, and turning on. So ashe, ashe, ashe. One love and wellness. Love plus art equals wellness. I don't know how that just happened, but hope everything's cool. Peace.